All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about how we are 7 days away from the National. We're going to start with what's on your mind, and then we'll get into Play of the Week, Facebook questions, and I'll ask Lou who is going to hit the most home runs in the second round between a very specific matchup in the Home Run Derby, as Lou would expect. But we'll start with what's on your mind. Lou, we'll let you kick today's show off. What's on your mind?
I think I'm a little scatterbrained, if I'm being honest with you. It's been a wild weekend. I'm thinking about we've been planning for the National the last 48 hours, Tyler and myself. And I'm thinking about fantasy football, and like year after year we talk about the show about like the position player thing. I've just been scrolling through like player rankings and trying to think about who has opportunities within cards. Do you think it has a chance now, Ryan, or you think it's never going to work out? Like a guy like a DeAndre Swift is somebody who was like interesting, newly in top 50 city United States, according to you. So if that's a possibility, something to think about. But I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about the position players, and as we head into the National Football, like where are there opportunities, if there are opportunities outside of your quarterbacks, and then just getting ready for fantasy football, honestly.
Ty, what about you?
The Open was a pretty epic finish yesterday. Rory, guy just really can't get it done. He had it all right there and just burned the edge on a couple putts. Do that one, Cam Smith, Aussie. He made literally every putt.
Saw a rumor this morning that said he might be considering the live.
So then he wakes up and he gets announced he's going to live, which is why like a Rory win would have just been great. This live thing has a lot of steam. Golf, professional golf, is a real issue on their hands that they're going to have to figure out.
It seems like it's gaining a lot of traction very, very quickly.
There's just a lot of good players. Like, I think 20% now, Stenson and Cam Smith today. So that's 2 more guys. 22 of the top 100 ranked players in the world play on that tour. And currently none of those events give you world golf ranking points.
Just to be clear, the live is big money, work less, just enjoy life.
Guaranteed money to play on it. So pretty much like
what's Cam Smith getting?
I think it was 90 million was the deal to go play at it.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and that has nothing to do with performance. That's just for showing up.
Just to show up.
And then
where are they getting all that money? Holy cow.
Oil, bro.
Holy cow. Yeah. 90 million. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Holy cow. Just to show up.
Whereas currently, if you fly to a tournament and you miss the cut, first off, you're paying for your flights, unless you have a sponsorship deal where they're paying for all the flights. But the PGA Tour is not taking care of your flights. It's not guaranteed money, even if you play Thursday and Friday night on TV and miss the cut. There's tournaments every weekend. So those are all aspects and factors, yeah.
To put some numbers on it real quick, so the rumor is 90. Let's assume that's what it's going to be. He got 2.5 for winning the Open. Just for winning the Open, got 2.5. I think his career earnings, as I can see it right now, is 25 million. So we got 90 million. He tripled his career earnings.
So, Ty, you'd assume anybody in the top 20, 25, I don't know how high it goes. Those guys probably have brand deals. So those guys are probably getting flights, a lot of things paid for. They're making a little bit of money off the course. And then you've got the personalities, or a guy like if Tiger falls outside the top 30, you've got those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't guys 31 through 100 and beyond take the guaranteed money and go play in this tour? If it's $90 million, that like,
yeah,
I don't
because
know
it's Cam just Smith, money. Like that's the argument, because there's no validity to like, is it professional golf? Is it not professional golf? You can't because like, I don't know, people grow up, they want to be the best player in the world. You can't become number one. You get no points for playing in those tournaments of the official world golf rankings. It's still unsure, to my understanding, if the Masters are going to let those guys play and like what those qualifications. So there's just not really anything in that regard of like it's just show golf versus like professional golf as it currently stands. If that bucket drops, then what happens? Because that like they're trying to do like lawsuits against World Golf Ranking because there is the European Tour, and that's not the PGA Tour. And
Didn't
there's
someone
other
just leave that?
someone left that. A lot of those guys, PGA, whatever, but you play an event on the European Tour, there's World Golf Rankings for that. So it's just going to be a long process.
Yeah, and like, right, to be honest, like the money's here today. Tomorrow they could decide they don't care about this anymore if it's not giving them what they want after the season, and then it's over. And then if the PGA doesn't let people back in, their careers are over technically. Like you can get there, logically.
Yeah, so it's all just the unknown, and there's also a lot of players that care about the legacy and the history and you know what it means to be on the PGA Tour and have your PGA Tour card. Like that's a dream for everyone. So that's why they want to do that. And
Sorry, didn't mean to completely derail it. I just
it's money and or like legacy, and is there going to be legacy in that tour? And that's what I think everyone's trying to figure out and decide. So that was, I wish Rory had won it for that reason. He's just like obviously the guy right now, meaning the biggest name in golf. Tiger's kind of on his last leg. He's standing firm with the PGA. For him to have won that tournament would have been good, except we got the other guy winning. He wakes up, he joins the live, and like it's just more of kind of that. But I don't know where it's going to shape out, but they're going to have to figure it out together in some capacity. And Rory started to say some of those things. A Dane is currently in the lead at the Tour de Frohhh, which I'm pretty excited about. We're coming into the last week, and the National is on my mind. But really, on top of all of it, what's on my mind is moving apartments, which I'm currently doing today and tomorrow and this week. And it's
you live in the city.
Yeah.
I do not envy you.
For what reason?
Moving apartments in New York City. I've been there once, and it was like beyond hectic. I couldn't imagine moving in New York City. That sounds awful.
Yeah, the whole thing's been miserable.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I just want it to be over with.
Yeah.
It will soon.
On my mind, the National. We counted this down at 355 days, and we're literally, we're recording a little bit earlier than normal. We were mostly record Tuesdays. It's Monday now. We're about 8 days from like saying what's up to each other in person, recording a Car Talk live on the floor on Wednesday, July 27th, talking about scenes from National Day 1, VIP sneak peek night. Just kind of crazy to believe. Ready for it to be here. I think it's going to be just a week of memories, just a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to do it. Just can't wait to be around everybody for an entire week, just wheeling and dealing. I do have some football in my mind. I'm kind of like Lou. I haven't thought much about fantasy football, but you get back, and then you're going to have the Canton Hall of Fame game for preseason. Ohio State spring camps starts the Monday right after the National. Then it's, July's the last month until March without football. And then we're going to get college football, pro football, F1. I mean, weekends around here in September are going to be electric. So it's just
Premier League.
Yeah, there's that, but mostly football and F1,
Football's
but
epic.
That too. And then you get to December and you got the World Cup.
Yeah.
Wild.
Can I make a statement real quick? I feel like we're in and this is kind of going to be a little bit sad. I think it's a conglomeration of all the conversation we have about sports recently. I think we're in the final years of like what we consider like classic sports, between like live golf and college football changing completely, and the NBA midseason tournament, and like baseball's even changing a little bit. It's getting very, very weird. And I kind of
like you're going to go to Amazon Prime or Apple TV to watch NFL games.
Yeah. And it's going to be on like a Tuesday afternoon.
And no LeBron or no Tom Brady.
It is a very big sea change happening.
Woods.
Yeah, very big sea change happening across sports, and that's just something for everybody to monitor.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Isn't that crazy, Ty? Like between it's all
Bradley
happening at
Beal
one
signed
time.
$250 million deal. Bradley
Who did?
Beal. Bradley
Yeah.
Beal.
Juan Soto turned down $455 million.
Yeah, he wants the highest, like, what, annual average salary?
Yeah, but $455 million.
Wow.
Speaking of baseball, do you guys got a winner for the Home Run Derby tonight?
So I think you guys are going to rely on me a little bit here for that one. I think
You know what's
Alonso's one.
crazy? Sorry, go.
Good. No, what were you going to say?
Albert Pujols is in the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, they kind of are just letting them do it. I respect it, honestly, in a weird way. I hope he goes off. That'd be
I
awesome.
feel like we discussed him being retired like 2 episodes ago.
He like kind of sort of. I respect it. I'd rather them do it than not. You know, it's like in his home stadium, all that good stuff. So, I think Pete Alonso would be your prohibitive favorite. He's won 2 in a row. Going for the 3rd. That would be huge for Jason. Me personally, I hope the winner is Julio Rodriguez.
That's what I hope it is.
Yes, he's an electric factory, like an absolute electric factory. He's so cool.
Is he the real deal?
He's the real deal. He hits bombs. He's awesome.
Seattle, right?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy who you want to root for in baseball now, you know? And I think he has a chance to like put on a show for the first time in his career. So that would be interesting. So I would say it's either going to be, in terms of who I would want to win, it would be Julio Rodriguez, Alonso because it's 3 in a row, and then I think Soto will be fun because he's just awesome too.
Wild. Yeah, that's why I want to win is J-Rod.
Yeah.
For sure.
I want Soto.
I'm sure by the time you guys hear this on Wednesday, it'll be old news, but that's fine.
And then Ohtani's going to win him back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, I think it's probably the all-time incorrect take on the history of the show. Can I own that as like the worst take in the history of the show?
Lou, honestly, like, I'm not ready to give that to you yet. Like, Tyler thinks MPJ is like comeback player of the year in 2029. So, like, we just got to see how this plays out. There's a lot. It's
a little bit of
left.
A wait and see, but I feel pretty confident.
Yeah,
I feel pretty confident that I got that one wrong. He's awesome. He should win MVP this year, I would think, you know, barring injury or whatever, or unless Judge has an unconscious second half, but I don't see that happening.
Isn't Judge on pace to hit quite a few bombs though?
Quite a few bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes down to, I think it'll come down to like a narrative thing in terms of like if the Yankees are the number 1 seed in the league, it's a tough argument, but Ohtani's doing things that have never been seen before, as discussed. So he's got like a 2.3 ERA. It's like crazy.
You know, it's just one of those odd weeks on Car Talk when we're 20 minutes into, you know, I assume at this point we're probably 15 minutes into the episode, and we've talked about mostly golf and baseball. Like,
it's quiet time.
Yeah, we got the National, so let's get into some Facebook questions. Let's Jay mentioned there's quite a few national questions on there, so let's get into that. Let's change the topic. Too much baseball, too much golf to start it off. We gotta shift.
Let's talk about basketball. Really hot time for basketball right now.
All right, Jay. First Facebook question. This is from Justin Gullickson. He says, "If you're the crazy person booking a last-second trip to the National, what are your do's and don'ts? Is it hell bringing slabs or unopened hobby boxes to possibly sell or trade on your flight to or back from the National? Got a sealed case of FOTL." So first off the line, NT football, hoping to move or trade up. Love the show. Can't wait to hear the live National show. Hope to see you guys there. Keep up the grind, boys. Much love.
So I think it depends on the type of person you are. If you're just going to show up to the National, I will say last year I attempted to pack some wax to bring with me, and it just became too like hectic because you have to pay. You definitely have to check the bag that you're going to send all of your wax in. Slab is probably the same thing. You need to be careful about how you're packaging all of that stuff, make sure nothing gets damaged. So it's definitely difficult. If you're just the kind of person who's going to show like randomly decides they want to go, I'd probably just go slabs. It's safer, I would think, and easier all the way around.
Yeah, I would say that where there's a will, there's a way, right? If you want to get it done, you can get it done, right? You could mail a box to your hotel. You could get an extra bag. Like, there's a lot of things you could do if you want to. Do we recommend it? Probably not. But yeah, there's going to be people doing it. It's going to be a fun week. So I would say if you can ever get to the National, if it's in the cards, I would make it happen.
How do you feel about the first off the line NTNFL as an asset or chip at the national, you think there will be demand?
Yeah, the good premium break like products like that are always in demand for breakers. So if breakers know they can move the good stuff, they want the good stuff. That's why flawless NT FOTL stuff. That's why that stuff historically has done well, because breakers can move it and there's demand for it. So I would imagine, again, if the market's 25 and he wants 50 for it, there's probably not nearly as much demand. So it's got to be price competitive. But yeah, there's typically demand for that stuff.
Are we anticipating more live breaking than normal, or do you think that's stays where it's been? I think we kind of saw that as an opportunity coming into last year's national. Do you think that's growing this year, or the show's smaller in general, right, Ryan? So it's kind of tough to expand that much.
Well, Chicago, to my understanding, is one of the smaller floors. It's by far the tightest.
I thought it was the other way.
No, I don't. Not that I'm aware of. I think Atlantic City's bigger. I think the Chicago one's the tightest. So I would assume that means space is the biggest constraint in Chicago. I would imagine breaking is going to be just like every other year. There's a breaking pavilion at the National because people break 24/7. So if you want to get a break, you will have plenty of options in Atlantic City to break. So plenty of gambling in Atlantic City should you so choose. So
your boy is hitting the blackjack table hard
with aggression.
Michael Martinez says, with all the giveaways and promotions happening at the National, what is the best way to capitalize on that?
Right, I think you're the most experienced. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I have a position, but
I don't know, like the best way to capitalize on it. The big companies, like the online retailers, the manufacturers, the distributors, like those guys are set up. They give away a bunch of stuff. But if you're really like trying to get free stuff, if that's like, I'm not saying that's what his question is, but if you're trying to get free stuff, like a lot of the stuff that happens that's free, like there are schedules for it. So for instance, Panini does Box Wars. Now that would require admission to that, but you can win cool free stuff from that. There are schedules a lot of those companies have. You could check schedules and stuff like that. I know a lot of the stuff that happens on the main stage, there's giveaways around those things. So it's just going to come down to how much you want to schedule around that. If that is what you are trying to accomplish, winning a bunch of free stuff, hey, I respect the hustle. You'd probably want to schedule around that. That seems like the best way. If that is the question, hey, how can I get as much free stuff in Atlantic City? Be as prepared as possible.
Is that VIP package that Panini's doing, is that a new thing?
You're talking about the thing Jay texted us about this morning?
Yeah.
No, so Panini has had a VIP party at the National for a long time. Mm-hmm. The first one I ever went to was in Chicago in Soldier Field in 2015. And they didn't do it last year because of COVID restrictions. So they didn't have it. So this year they brought it back, and that was one of the pass options. There were other pass options through distributors. But yeah, it'll be Saturday night. They'll announce more as it gets closer. I've gone to 4 or 5 of them at this point. They're a blast. Panini does a great job. They bring in athletes to sign. You get a bunch of gold and silver packs. You get a free white box 101. It's a good time. Yeah, it's a good time, but it's definitely not new.
The party, I know. I guess more so the question was around like that package, that high price point.
No, so the super VIP package has been around before. I have never purchased one before, so I'm not sure about when they started in terms of the super VIP. But I know for a fact this is not the first year they've ever run a super VIP.
Got it. And do you know how many they sold out? $68,000 price tag. Do you know how many they were offering? Is that public?
I have no idea.
Got it.
Is it like 20? Is it like 100?
So Jay says 68K this year. It used to be 10K apparently. So back in the day, like this is 2015, 2016, before the market was what it was today. I bought a pass from there was multiple, this has changed so much over the years. Like back in the day, you used to be able to go for $14,000. You got all of these products. You got a case of this, a case of this, a case of this. You got 5 or 6 cases that were $1,500, it was $14,000 in product, and then everything else at the national VIP party was a bonus. So silver packs, gold packs, etc. Then it changed. One year I was able to go for like $6,000 or something, and you didn't get any product, but you got all of the perks of the VIP package. And then it got up a little bit more expensive. It's fluctuated a lot. I mean, for instance, back in the day, a couple years ago, when I purchased my ticket, we got 500 silver packs and 250 gold packs. This year, it's like 100 silver packs and 140 gold packs. So the numbers are down astronomically. You also used to be guaranteed an 8x10 autograph of every single athlete in attendance. So the first year I went, it was like Kareem, Bobby Portis, Ricky Williams, Mike Tyson, Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose. And
What a wild group that is of people.
It was wild. It was a blast. It was, it was fantastic. But over the years, it's changed a little bit, probably because athletes don't want to sign as much. So you get like a hodgepodge of them instead of a guaranteed everyone. So it's definitely changed a lot, but the market has changed and so has demand, right? Like the first year I ever went, the value was phenomenal. Now everybody wants to go, so it's just a supply and demand thing. They don't want. I'm assuming Panini doesn't want 10,000 people going to the VIP party. So as people keep buying them at X price, you raise the price to see, who's, I guess, willing to pay it. I would assume that's like a supply and demand thing, but that's probably a question better suited for Panini. But this is definitely not the first year they've done it, and it's definitely had cheaper options in the past.
Interesting.
So Jay, real quick, Jason said they guaranteed everyone this year from the athlete. Jay, that's the super VIP. That's the one directly from Panini. You could buy non-super VIP options from Blowout. I know Blowout had some options available. I've purchased some. I have passes from a distributor that we have a relationship with. So I've purchased passes there. The non-super VIP ones, they're just called VIPs. Those options do not guarantee autographs from every athlete. The only one that does is the super VIP, just for if anybody's looking for any clarification. All right, Mike Mullen says, as this is my first time going, what are some of the events, for example, breaks, giveaways, auctions, etc., that go on at the National? The schedule on their website doesn't seem to give too much. Looking to take part in as much as possible, as I'll be attending with my nephew for the first 2 days. Also, what tables will you guys be set up at? Just in case I come across soft pretzels, I need to know where to deliver them. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it in advance. He put hashtag NJ all day. Not sure what that could possibly mean.
Let's go, Mike Mullen.
Can't possibly imagine. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. I think, given that you're going to be there with your nephew, that's a good piece of information. The Panini table seems like the place to go for that. I don't know what day they do those kids packs, or they do it every day, Rye.
Kids breaks typically on Saturday.
Kids breaks, yeah. So okay.
A lot of if you're looking for stuff to do for kids, typically the best day is Saturday, but there's stuff every day.
Yeah, I think outside of that, it's just like tell them to bring. Yeah, you guys should definitely come to our event on Friday night if you're coming. But would love to have you there. I think outside of that, it's mostly just like hanging out at the tables. Going to the corporate booth is probably a safe way to figure out what's going on in the morning as early as you can, whether that's Blowout, David Adams, Panini, Topps, whoever. And then just seeing how it goes. It's trade nights, obviously. Every night there's things going on that you can figure out that aren't like official events, which is why you haven't been able to find them. But
yeah, I would say a lot of the reason you can't find it is because every company has their own schedule, right? Panini and Blowout don't necessarily sync their schedule together. So Blowout's got different promotions going on. Topps has different things. Leaf, CSG, SGC, PSA, Topps, back, like they all have different things going on. So your best bet's to check their booths for schedules. There are events that the National helps put on, like autograph signings, different things that you can find through the website. Trade night, Thursday night, that's free. That'll be in Ballroom A. I help host that. The national event we're running with Ty Lou, the team over at eBay, that'll be Friday night, Tennessee Beer Hall. More than welcome to do that. There's a lot of stuff going on afterwards. A lot of things will probably be announced on social as well. So if you follow people on social, you can see stuff that way. But there's I think a lot of the companies have their own thing.
Agree.
All right, Evan Schneider says, what type of cards sell the best on Whatnot? Is there a certain price range that will get more attention than others? Are people more interested in base cards or parallel rare cards? The stuff that sells best on Whatnot is the stuff that everybody wants. The liquid stuff. The stuff you see get asked for at shows, the stuff you see get asked for in card shops, on Instagram or Twitter. That's the stuff that sells the best on Whatnot. The things everybody wants. The question would be the same. The answer would be the same for base cards versus rare cards and parallels. The base cards don't sell as well as rare cards. People want the things everybody else is asking for. Not saying the other stuff doesn't sell. It just, you're never going to be able to get what you could for the better stuff. No different than a lot of other places to sell cards. The theory and thought process is a lot of the same. You don't want to set up a show necessarily with all base cards. If you could acquire rare, numbered, unique cards of Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, you'd probably rather have those than a Kyle Lewis Topps flagship PSA 10. One is going to sell better than the other. That's typically what sells the best on Whatnot.
Is it typically like those auctions do the best there, or do they even have like a buy it now function? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, no, you can definitely do buy it nows. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish. A lot of our thing is we just buy so much. It's a
Volume play.
A volume play. Yeah, you're going to get crushed on some. You're going to do really well on some. A lot of them do about average. So it's just a law of averages. You're just trying to move as much volume as possible and trying to offer as much selection as possible. So we have a single sale. I mean, this is Monday, so it'll be tonight. It'll have, F1, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey, right? A little bit of everything just to try to, appeal to as many people as possible.
And a lot of even what we talk about on the show, seasonality plays into that. Hot players play into that. Hot products play into that. So I'd imagine you're starting to wind into NFL season. Baseball is obviously happening right now, but it's kind of almost in like the hard dog days of baseball. So
we've always bought football, so it's not really much different for us. Like, we're not buying baseball when everybody else, like, we don't buy a lot of baseball to begin with. But yeah, as football season gets closer and demand continues to trickle up, it just makes it more desirable to buy and purchase football, just because right around this time when football gets hot, it gets hot. It
drives the whole thing.
Yeah, it drives the thing. It gets going quick.
Proper football, right?
Correct. All right, Luke
Good old Sheffield.
Luke Horton says, long term, do you see the card market normalize with less spikes up and down like the last couple of years, or do you think there are still more to come?
That's a tough question.
I think that there is still more to come. And what I would say about that is, one, I think about information and data a lot. And I think with the amount of information, the amount of product, there's still going to be a ton of arbitrage. And I think that it is perspective and where you look, meaning the macro market is down from where it was on the peak, up from pre that whole craziness. But you can look at certain pockets. We talk about F1 a lot. Culture is moving faster than ever. So I think that there's going to, I guess where I say more to come is that I think the market will overall always be volatile. At the end of the day, we're talking about high risk assets. I think that there's a lot of uncertainty still to come for the next foreseeable future. And then I think that the speed of culture and information and data and how that plays into certain like on-demand products or just newer sets, if you'll see whether it's tennis or Big Three or just these things that happen, and even IP Marvel movies come out, Stranger Things, PSGs just came out at $15,000, or that's the price. Like, I just think that in pockets it'll always exist, but I think the core market will continue to have some volatility around it on the high risk assets. That would be my take.
I agree. I think one thing about sports cards is the volume of sales is much lower compared. The volume of like liquidity is much low. I don't think that's a good phrase, but you guys know what I mean. Of like
the peaks and the peaks and valleys.
Yeah, peaks and valleys are always going to come because there's so much less to move around, especially when you're talking about the higher end stuff. And people hold on to their cards because they love them. They don't want to get rid of them. There's a card that sells one time and then it doesn't sell again for 6 months. So if you're looking at it in a micro way like that, it could seem like very peaks and valley type of thing. And then, I just think there's so much like instability in the world right now from an economy standpoint that it's basically impossible to predict.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot with what you said, Ty, about like, do I believe the card market has potential to still continue to grow in time? Absolutely. I think as time goes on and supply goes, way down, like as Michael Jordan exquisite patch autos sell, do I think, there are going to be stockbrokers in New York that are looking to buy them and put them on their desk and, have them as a piece to show off? Yeah, I think eventually supply on those cards will go down and price will continue to rise on the really, really good stuff. Do I think Luka Doncic PSA 10 Prisms are going to go to $1,250, $1,500 again? No, I don't. I don't think that's coming. I think as the market becomes educated and there's so much uncertainty in the world right now, like Lou said, it's just there's a lot of other things going on. I would be very surprised if those cards ever get anywhere near where they are. Now, could Fanatics bring in a lot of attention and a lot of eyeballs? Sure. Fanatics has a major investment and they've made a major investment in sports cards. So to say Fanatics doesn't want to get a lot more attention on them, I would say that's probably not very true. I expect Fanatics is going to want to grow the overall market, but I still don't see base 10s skyrocketing in the future. I just think there's some cards that will hit a number, and that's where they'll stay, and they'll move a little bit, but I don't think your LeBron Topps Chrome is going to go up to 100K, and I don't think it's going to go down to $300. So I think it'll kind of level out, and like some good stocks, it'll rotate a little bit and have good days and bad days. But that's what I would say.
Yeah, there's just so many variables to all of the like anything relating to sports card prices, like technology with grading, overall heat or non-heat on the market. Guys get hot for whatever reason. Like there's so many variables. It's so hard to predict.
Yep.
And then just access to capital.
Yep.
Storage, digitalization, where these companies are looking to put their resources to drive revenue. There's a lot of different things. I want that French kid's rookie, though. Victor Wembanyama. That's the guy I'm going for.
All right. Last question from Joaquin. He says, when buying an item on eBay, do you expect to get what's in the picture? If there's 4 cards, for instance, would you expect to get all 4? I think it depends on the title.
Yeah, I feel like
the title plays a lot to it to me.
Yeah, but who would put 4 cards in an eBay auction picture if it wasn't
time.
4 cards?
It like if you
time.
Yeah, like let's say you scan 6 cards. We have a scanner. We use an Epson 550V scanner. It's a nice high quality scanner. Let's say you can scan soft sleeves. You can scan up to 8. We'd normally do 6 just to make sure there's extra room. You can scan 3 cards on top, 3 cards on bottom of each other. You can scan them real quick, and then it scans one picture. It doesn't auto crop them. So if you scan 6 picture, you could upload the picture of the front and list it as whatever the card in the bottom right corner is. Tom Brady 2000 SP Authentic rookie.
But you wouldn't just crop it later?
That?
No, we don't do that. I'm just saying it could be done.
Yeah, the person who does that
feels disingenuous.
Lazy. Yeah.
More than lazy.
Oh, you think it's intentional.
If you're putting a picture of 4 cards in an auction, I'm probably assuming I'm getting those 4 cards.
Even if, like, let's say one's a Tom Brady, one's a Randy Moss, one's a Peyton Manning, and one is a Patrick Mahomes, and the title is for whatever the Tom Brady card is, you would assume you're getting all 4 cards, although the title only states anything about a Tom Brady card.
I'll go this way. If there are images that include cards that are not in the title, unless the description explicitly states that it is the cards and photos are not all included, my assumption is that what is photographed is part of what you're buying.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. Meaning, if it says Tom Brady rookie card and there's then a image and it has Randy Moss and Mario Lemieux, and then a description, it doesn't say anything. My assumption is that you're purchasing what is pictured.
That's probably fair. I would say the description is the place where that is. If the description says nothing, I'm assuming I'm getting them all. If it says something specific, that's where I'll be the judge.
Yeah. So I think that when buying an item on eBay, do expect what's in the picture, unless explicitly stated in the description that certain items pictured are not included. I think that you should that I would default to. Now, he say, she say, and I don't know where those guidelines go to, because there's definitely like times where you buy something and not everything is explicitly listed in the title, but I feel like the description has to clarify that. Otherwise, I would think that what you put in the photo is what you're selling. Otherwise, it's misleading, in my opinion, if you haven't explicitly stated in the description.
Yeah, it's extremely misleading.
Yeah, 1,000% agreed.
Yeah, don't do that. If you have, but don't do that. Crop it or something.
All right, let's get into play of the week. Jay says there's a couple good ones here. This will be the last one pre-national.
Play of the week.
Brought to you by Ryan.
All right. All right. This is from Slabs and Kicks. He says, as a fan of F1, I continue to monitor, buy, and sell in the F1 card market. At the end of May, I bought this gold Mick at a 50 with the thought that his bad streak has to end at some point. Got it for a deal, 177 after fees, and just sold last Sunday after back-to-back points finishes for 338. That's $300 after fees. Not bad for a $123 profit. The same day, I sold this Max Red Refractor PSA 9 for $565 after fees, which I bought an HGA mislabeled slab for $200. I cracked it, regraded it with PSA for $100 economy. My total investment was $477. Total return was $862. Profited nearly $400. I enjoy watching F1 and making money while doing, and watching what I like is the best part. And again, shout out to Lou for bringing F1 into my spotlight and for the knowledge. Cheers, boys.
Lou the boy. I think Slabs and Kicks has been in the mix for quite some time.
Yes.
And this kind of goes back to my point. Like, because so much of these are like culture trading on like culture and results is why I do think even on the micro, there's always going to be like extreme amounts of volatility. It's just the markets are crazy and they have humans are deeply flawed and react to emotion intensely.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it goes from 177 to 2 points finishes, which is like, at the end of the day, we're not it was really like, okay, you came in the top half of 20 people, like
it's a funny way to put it.
It's 2x.
Yeah, I mean, did you get a career best 6th?
Totally, but it's similar to like, someone goes down with COVID and a bench player steps in for 2 weeks, goes Jalen on them, and all of a sudden $100 cards, $1,000 cards.
Yeah. Don't worry. In 6 weeks, I'm not naive to say that somebody will have a good preseason game, and somebody will say how in last February they saw this guy in the gym, bought him. He had a banging preseason game, had like 335 passing yards for the Seahawks, and his stuff's through the moon, and we're gonna hear about it. Like, it's gonna happen. So totally. I'm not naive for the emotion play. It happens all the time.
All the time, and so I think that is will always happen, at least within things. If you look at the macro of like the sports card market, to me, I don't know when it dips under where it was. I don't see that occurring. So like maybe there's less volatility in that. But back to the play here, that Mick is beautiful and Haas is beautiful in general.
Yeah.
Next play, Jay.
Wait, real quick. I just want to say this speaks to like if you are aware of, if you could stay above the fray of the human emotion, that is where there's room for plays where you see a max that's mislabeled and bulb. Like being able to stay above the fray is a great way to operate if you're trying to flip cards on a consistent basis.
Agreed. All right, this is from
Ties guy.
Cards A Lot Breaks. I was on TikTok live, and the person that was running the live was doing card auctions. So I knew I could find a steal. He put up a Josh Giddey PSA 9 auto, and I won the auction at 90. Comps on the card are about 100. 15 minutes later, he runs the same Giddey, but the difference is it's a PSA authentic. That one goes for 120. So then I ask him to show my PSA 9 that I won for 90, and so he does, and I got an offer for 120. Counter 130, and we end up meeting in the middle at 125. Made $35 profit in 15 minutes.
Information,
This has got to be
data,
the first time we've ever done this on TikTok.
volatility.
Oh, this is definitely the first TikTok play of the week entry.
I love a good TikTok play of the week entry.
I like the guy's name. Your effing dad. Yeah, I'm legit. That's what it's. So for those that are not watching, it says the guy's TikTok is your_thing. You guys get it. For any kids listening, _dad. So yeah, it says your effing dad, and then it says, yeah, I'm legit. That's a comment.
It's so crazy. It's funny. I mean, it's a funny story more than anything. But I don't know if I'm feeling. How are you guys feeling about doing auctions on TikTok Live? I feel like I wouldn't feel safe purchasing in that like area.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Like
There's no terms of service for someone just says, "Oh yeah, you paid me. You PayPal me $90. See you later."
But isn't that the same with Instagram Live?
Yeah, that's why you pay goods.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, sorry, I totally take it back.
I'm not sending this guy $75 Venmo unprotected.
Hey, listen, I get it. TikTok's just a little bit of the next level of like.
Yeah, I got confused with TikTok and I froze.
But it's I mean, I think it's all the same. But I just think it goes to show like even more. I'm just gonna keep going back to that question. Like, yeah, you want volatility? There you go.
$35 in 15 minutes is hilarious as a play of the week entry, and I think it might win. Let's go.
Yesterday on eBay, we talked about this. Yesterday on eBay, I think I should get these numbers right. 2 Pikachu red cheeks.
Yeah.
Was it yellow cheeks sold?
It was red.
It was red. 48 and 41.
Yep.
I believe it was. 2 first edition Pikachu PSA 10 red cheeks sold. One was 48, like 48.50, something like that, 59 bids, and one was 4,100, 43 bids. That's 2 of the exact same cards with a $700 spread. There's a lot of opportunity in that right there alone.
Yep.
And so I will think it will continue. And then you got all these areas happening. And
yeah, I think the biggest thing that plays into this, Ty, is just the number of outlets to buy cards. TikTok is now apparently a player in buying cards. That means Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? YouTube, like Snapchat. You could go down the list of places you could buy cards on top of live selling platforms like whatnot, on top of auctions like eBay or Golden or Heritage or PWCC or card shops or card shows. Like there's 40 different places to buy cards anymore. It's like, an eBay auction might do $25, but you go to there hasn't been one in 6 months, and you go to a show and you see the $25, you might be able to get $100 for it. There's, if there's none there, it's wild right now. There's a lot of different places to buy cards, and I think it leads to a lot of opportunity like that.
It's also a challenge as a seller.
Sure.
Because you're kind of fragmenting your audience no matter where you go, or your potential buyer base no matter where you go.
And as amazing as Card Ladder it has done and continues to do, it's like that Josh Giddey sale isn't getting input anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
sure.
That was a question about whatnot. Like, are all those sales being like data input somewhere? Is there info on what those sales, what's happening with those price wise, etc.? And as these live stream QVC starts happening more, it's like it's not just a eBay world anymore. It's not just a Golden Auctions or PWCC world anymore. Not that long ago, was Gary would always say, you literally opened a book that was printed on a monthly basis to get the price of the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now that we're talking about this, I feel like there's like an increasing knowledge gap in cards from a pricing standpoint and like just a selling and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
This is where I think being involved in the market, like, and really seeing it on a daily basis leads like
knowledge
really
is power.
like, knowledge is power for sure.
It's really interesting.
Like, that's why I didn't go to any of the shows this weekend, but I heard Nashville and Dallas were really, really good. And I was interested to hear some of the people's takeaways from the show because I think that's important, right? Like that's where a lot of deals are happening. There are people looking to spend cash, like that you can learn a lot from that kind of stuff, right? That's what we did at the Midwest Monster. I think those observations are important to succeed in the card market. Anyways,
next one.
Love the play.
I really do love it.
All right, this is from I know who this is. This is Christian. He says, Clee Card Collector 58. He says, submitting for play of the week. A few months ago, I went to the Dallas Card Show, met a dealer who through some conversation told me he had a Jose Ramirez Dynasty Chief Wahoo patch auto at a 5. I'd never owned a Wahoo patch, so I told him to please shoot me a text when he got back home and found it. Well, we did a deal and we closed at $427 shipped. I fully intended on it being PC forever, but I have a rule that all my big PC cards get listed on eBay just in case. Well, after dozens of people calling me names and price bashing me for my $1,200 buy it now list price, someone bought it outright for $1,200 on eBay. After fees and shipping, I netted $1,049.25 for a profit of $596.83. This goes to show that collecting what you like can pay off, and always be willing to sell those PC cards with your bigger picture in mind.
True. I think this is one of those times where it can come across like he's saying he was getting attacked for his $1,200 listing, but like, you know, if that's the number you feel good letting go of a card you really, really want at, just list it. If someone wants to buy it, that's on them. They feel good about it too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bashing somebody for the price is crazy.
The last comp doesn't necessarily mean what the next one's going to sell for.
Correct.
Right. We're not worried about the last one. We're worried about the next one. And
you don't know. The buyer may be coming in. They got a birthday party to go to in 3 days. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of money.
Yeah, $1,200 isn't the same to us three as it is to somebody making $800 million chilling in San Francisco.
And time is money. And rather than take the time to figure out what this should be properly priced, and instead of $1,200, it's $950, you just push a button, forget it, pay the bill, and it shows up in the mail.
There are people that are like, hey, Ryan, can you find me this card or find me this card?
I'll pay you to do it. Wire you.
Yeah, tell me what I got to wire you. Like people, like rich people, you know what they can't get more of? Time. You know what they have a lot of? Money. They will trade those two for each other. So $1,200 to somebody making $100 million a year is not that much money. They don't give a beep that the last one sold for $800. They're like, hey, I can't find another one. My kid wants it. We'll see you later. Here's an extra $400.
And that's just a perspective because this individual is coming from this was my PC. I didn't care to sell this. I'm not looking to make an ARB on it, but I'm going to put it up at a price and I'd feel good about selling it. And maybe someone comes along and feels that way.
Yeah. If not, we'll keep it and we'll enjoy it.
Exactly.
Someone wants to blow me out of the water. They could pay it if they want.
Everything
you
has
don't
a
want
price.
it? Respect. Keep it moving.
Yep. Agreed.
Too bad you're from Cleveland, though.
So hold on. Talk to me about this patch. What year is this? 2021?
Yeah,
I think the big thing
sneaky. This could be the last time that logo is on a card.
There you go. Sneaky.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was.
That has its own issues, its own set of issues and challenges, but like,
it's iconic in sports.
Yeah.
Apparently, so is what was the mascot we saw last week?
Oh,
speaking of iconic, golly,
Purdue chicken,
brother, Purdue chicken.
Good one.
Purdue not having chicken as their mascot, being in the Boilermakers, feels like a huge miss and feels like NIL deal waiting to happen.
Are there any more, Jay?
Yeah, oh yeah. All right, this is from Justins.gems on IG. Hey guys, I scooped a 2022 UFC Prizm Blaster from Target back in early May for $30. I got lucky and pulled a green Pulsar Khabib at a 25, which is what you're looking for in these boxes. I knew he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame at the end of June, so I decided to hold on to it until then. I listed the card in a 3-day auction, so it ended the night of the ceremony. It sold for $127, so after fees, I made about $90. Do you guys think I should have listed when pulled or a good move? So I'm typically one that I believe that the card is going to be the hottest unless a player is going to unless he's going to win a fight or a ceremony. Those things can come into play. But I'm typically a newness guy. Card, the product's brand new, like National Treasures basketball comes out Wednesday or Friday this week. Hey, let's get this card listed in 24 hours kind of guy. People are looking for it. I can't imagine if you could show me the analytics of an eBay search. I'm sure the guys at Card Ladder could provide something like this. I bet if you looked right at National Treasures basketball searches for 2021, 2022, they are not going to go up in time. They're only going to go down. So the volume of searches would have to be higher the closer you get to release date. As time passes and other things come up and other products are released, there's no way search volume is higher. So in my eyes, I'm a list as soon as I get it, but I don't know when the product released to tell you this. That would be my only...
that's 2021 UFC that came out a long time ago. The one thing I was going to say was that it has the wrong year on it, so that's something to monitor as well. Always make sure you're double checking that stuff. I would also say another piece of this, like letting it go now or later, like when it comes to a green pulsar, like I would probably tend to keep that like he did. But if it was, just a non-numbered color card, that's something you want to get rid of immediately, I would think. Because like the numbered status obviously plays a part of that story too, I think.
I think Khabib is legendary.
All right, Jay, next play.
How their grade scheme.
All right. This is from Max.Pax. It says, gentlemen, I'm a regular listener to the podcast, and I've always envied the Play of the Week winners. And I've been spending countless hours in the dollar box throughout the great local shows in the great state of Iowa, and finally did it. I was shaking when I came across it. I offered the gentleman significantly more than $1, but I was met with a response. It's not smart to pay more for a card priced at $1. I'm still in my car shaking. $1, and I'm not even sure what this goes for, but a Steve Young PSA 8 did this. All right, so for those listening, he found a Reggie Miller EX 2000 from 98 Skybox, the credentials at a 52. I am not the 90s graded expert. I'm familiar with this card. I would not pass this up if I saw it. I'm familiar with that. But in terms of where this ranks compared to other, I know it's not PMG good. I'm fully aware of that. But outside of that, I can't get super involved in this. But I know I would buy it for $1, and I'm sure it will sell for a lot of money.
Yeah. This is not eligible to win Play of the Week because they didn't sell anything. But unbelievable find. I'm kind of confused by the interaction, to be honest. Like, the guy offers you more than one. The guy who comes back is like, you shouldn't do that. It's like, I don't know. I feel like if you're at a table,
hey, I'm trying to be nice, and you're like, yeah, dude, that's stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah, like, no, I'm actually going to take less. Like, it's very confusing.
So, it's wasn't. Oh,
this is the one that
we
got
don't know the age. I feel like this person we did know. This person was on the younger side.
Yes, I think so.
It sounds like Max Pax has listened to a lot of Card Talk, tried to be a good person, and then the person tried to clown them back, like, don't be a child, and just
like, what? It's such a weird interaction.
Now, there's a lot of factors. Maybe this
shout out to my man Max.
Hated Reggie Miller like I did because he was actually. There's few things I remember about like childhood sports as much as I remember Reggie Miller just
cooking
the Knicks. Like, it's almost, I don't know. That's maybe why I love Steph so much. Because like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were like out of this world good because of how good they can shoot threes. And like
Steph Curry's better than both, right?
I mean, they're not even comparable.
In the same galaxy.
It's not even like I don't know where the numbers even sit, but I mean, I feel like
Steph passed Reggie this year, right?
For total 3 points made
at regular season.
I
think he's
like
long past him.
I thought it was like last year.
Or maybe it's career 3-pointers.
Whatever it is, I think he's buried them, and the numbers won't even be remotely in the same planet. But when I see Reggie, I'm always like, yeah, that dude was
all-time 3-point Steph Curry at 3,117. Ray Allen in second place at 2,973. A surprising third place. James Harden.
What?
2,593 career three-pointers. He's third all time.
Yeah, Reggie was that dude. Those jerseys were also kind of fresh.
Reggie
I
Miller's.
can't believe that Harden number. I would love for Max Pack to send us an update once he sells this or once they sell this or grade this or whatever, and then it's a proper play of the week submission. Because right now it's crazy, and I also don't understand. I can't get over the interaction. It's blowing my mind.
Were the EX not the like reader cards, like the insert? What was that?
The only EX reader insert I know is from like the 2001 Pokemon. What is it?
Wasn't there those alternative cards that were they all only Pokemon?
I remember the Pokemon cards where they were like part of like the game.
Was there no sport card like that?
Nothing comes to mind.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
This is a big card. I mean, I expect this to do $1,000-$2,000. I mean, it's a good card to find at $1. Shout out to maybe Max Packs for the $1 box play.
I want to know how much he significantly offered more. Was it like 5?
I 10x your offer.
Hey man, I'll give you 100 for this. Like
here's 20. And then...
Pass. Times are good, man. Pass.
Unreal.
Wild. All right. Next play. Is that it?
I think that might be it. Yeah, listen, I'm picking the Giddy.
Jay, flip through.
It's the play of the week. It's the coolest thing that happened out of these submissions this week.
In the comment with your F and dad in there, just
that puts the icing on the cake.
Jay, really? What else is there? The Chief Wahoo, though, we're not going Chief Wahoo.
I mean, there are a couple good ones here. I'm either Chief Wahoo or NJ all day. Where's NJ all day?
The very first one. Very first one, Jay.
Skip over that a couple times, Jay.
It's the slabs and kicks.
It's the Mick, the F1. Yeah. Wait,
no, it's not.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like what?
Oh, it's a Facebook question.
It was Facebook question. Got it. Okay, so it's Mick or Giddy. It's Mick or Giddy. It's Mick or Giddy. It's
Mick or Giddy. No, it's Chief Wahoo or Giddy for me.
I think we got to give it to Giddy. It's such a funny story.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
TikTok play of the week.
I'm fired up.
On the live stream. So
that
then
is
I asked
funny.
him to show my PSA 9, and so he does, and I get an offer. So was that also just like in the comments?
So it sounds like he bought a card. Another one runs that's not as good. It's just an authentic one.
But sells for more.
It does more. So he's like, hey, I got a 9 that's better than an authentic. Will you show my card? Well, people in the chat are like, hey, I want that. What will you sell it for? He's like, I do, he's like, I'll give you 120 for that. He's like, no, I do 135. He's like, or 130. He's like, deal. So he makes this money without even touching the card while my man, your F and dad's in there saying, yeah, I'm legit.
He's probably the buyer.
Now, if your card's a lot, are you shipping it to the new buyer?
No, you're not touching it. You're just saying, hey, man.
No way.
I'll take
Sorry. If you're the seller.
I will tell you when this happens, like when people try to do this during live, it is so annoying. It's the worst thing on earth.
And you don't get any cut on that? Like
it's not. It has nothing to do with cut. It's just what, especially like on like Whatnot's tricky because like when it's no different than an eBay auction. When you buy, like let's say you buy this Josh Giddey on eBay and you get a steal on it, you buy it for $90 and they do $150 all day. If your friend sees it, it's like, ooh, I'll give you that, and then you message the buyer like, hey, please ship it here instead. It's like a no.
That's what I'm saying.
We've got an obligation to complete the transaction in place. We're completing that. Once you get it, you figure it out. It's not my thing.
Jay, the Jay's asking, why would an auto grade 9 be worth more than an auto grade authentic? It's not. It's the lack of data. That's the point. He got it for a good deal. Someone else came in, didn't see that, paid more for the worst card.
I'll be honest.
That reset the market. And
I don't think that's it. I think somebody's going to see this and assume this card is graded a 9 with an auto grade. I don't think they have any idea. Like, when I see this, I think this card's a PSA 9, no auto grade.
Is it not a PSA 9?
No, if you look at it, it says auto grade. The auto is graded a 9. The card is not graded.
Auto grade, yeah, wow. I feel like they need to clarify that a little bit better on the slabs, but it's just me. Congrats to Cards a Lot. I'm pumped. Yeah. I'm so pumped.
Cards a Lot with the win. Should have been Chief Wahoo, but Cards a Lot with the dub.
Streaming, I'm like, this is just a lot. I'm sending it to the original person and letting them deal with the rest of it.
All I hope is Cards a Lot is from Ohio.
Right. The Chief Wahoo one is a great play. It's money. It's great money. You did your PC, whatever. The story of the TikTok live makes it the play of the week.
Okay. Deal.
Thank you.
All right. We before we wrap it up here, we've got to do a little play of the week, and then we'll do a little closing thoughts because I want to talk about some stuff. But we got latest launch, not play of the week. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Next couple weeks are going to be big. There's no denying. This week is really, really big. 2 of the top 5 products in basketball and football both released this week. You have 2021 Optic football, and you have National Treasures basketball. Top of that, you have Prizm basketball fast break. You have Chronicles football H2, and then historic autographs trivia set World Cut Series edition. Yeah, something odd. I probably read that wrong. World Series Cut Signature Edition baseball.
Interesting.
Optic, about 6 weeks before the start of the next season.
I hope they fix it. That's it. It doesn't matter at this point. I just hope it's fixed for next year.
Yeah, me too.
The reset will be interesting in and of itself because of the time. Like, you're gonna have to have 2 products come out. Like,
yeah,
2 years.
The issue is if you just never get behind, you're never gonna have product during their rookie season.
You mean
it's just gonna be like
we're not even done. Like, we haven't gotten a lot of we just got Prizm basketball. The next season's about to start. When are you going to get Chet Holmgren rookies?
If it's a year from now, then when does the following?
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, it just doesn't ever get caught up.
Or you have to move it up. And
one thing I would like I don't
within 6 months.
The only thing I don't know, and I'm sure lawyers or Panini could answer this question, but if Fanatics takes over and Panini is a year behind on producing cards, can they still produce previous year cards with the license they had during that time, right? So let's say that Fanatics takes over right now. Panini was able to make cards for Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and those guys. Can they still produce it? My early thought is no, because if you would say yes, you would be able to say, well, they'll just go back and make more Zion cards. They'll just go back and make more Trevor Lawrence cards. Like, that seems like the obvious answer, so I would assume no. But because if the answer is yes, there's no real incentive for them to speed it up if they can continue to produce it. But if the answer is no, then it's like, okay, well, they're definitely not doing it intentionally. They would want to get it out. So I would be curious to know.
I would guess it's broken out by year. So as long as you're releasing a 2021 product and it's, first, whatever, they have their parameters of that, it's fine, I would think.
Yeah, just interesting debacle.
Or they could just combine them. Like, didn't they do that in 2012? Isn't there a couple guys who were like,
there was a strike.
It's kind of similar. It's not the same, but like that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, if they're really that far behind, they could just combine 2 years.
I want a Giddy purple or a Giddy.
Did you just move on from Devin Booker purple, or?
Actually, it's actually getting into a nice price range, I think.
For purchasing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Any final thoughts, considering the next time we do Card Talk, we'll be live in Atlantic City? Jay, just real quick, do I need to bring my mic?
I think you should bring your mic.
I'll
be bringing my mic. Let the record reflect.
Please bring your mic, Rye.
I will bring my mic, I promise.
I'll have my mic.
I was just waiting for Jay to say, Ty, Lou, don't bring yours.
I have two. I need a third. If any of you want to bring your mic, that would be fantastic.
Everyone just bring your own mic. Period.
Yeah.
Everyone
will.
bring your mic. No confusion.
Yep.
I will. I promise.
No confusion.
Yeah, I mean, what if we have like a play of the week or play of the show, play of the day at the show? What
Play
if we
of
get
the
the guy
day.
that makes the announcements, like the 13 minutes and 16 seconds left? Like, what if he comes? We need extra mics.
I completely agree.
Yeah, we definitely need play of the day. And
Lou.
the announcement guy.
Loop, rapid fire. Will you and Cruz make a trade?
No. I've decided I'm turning heel on Cruz, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never hang out with Cruz again. That's probably not true, but I'm gonna say that. Going
Cruz,
into the
come
show.
hang.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like fight a little bit.
Hi.
I'm ready to get into some fights there.
No.
We'll see everyone at the show. If you're coming to the National, please come Friday night. It's gonna be awesome.
Tennessee Beer Hall. Tennessee Beer Hall on Friday
Yep.
night.
But
We'll be live. Have some panels. We'll be chatting. Giving
couple
some
panels,
stuff.
couple picks, couple giveaways, couple
DJ
beers.
Ski exclusive cards, 300 of them.
Yep. The ones that came out last year were really good. The Chicago ones, like the Kanye one, was sick.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to meet some friends and then decide we're gonna play blackjack together after doing some card deals and just like have some real.
Do you think there'll be card talk live from the casino?
There should be card talk live from the blackjack table.
Can I make a request? What if we did like a 3 a.m. blackjack
And-
table card talk live?
And we like our night energy.
When there's no one else there, it's just us.
Just like preparing for the day tomorrow.
Oh, so it's like we're gonna go to bed at like 11:30. You just get 4 hours, just straight Red Bull, and start the day off. Start the day off with a trip to the blackjack table.
I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking we
stay
like,
up.
stay up,
Yeah, but I mean,
but it's for the content.
All right, we need you there.
yeah,
Blackjack and eggs.
We could do blackjack and eggs.
We're not going to do that, but it would be funny if we did.
I'm gonna do that.
looking forward to meeting everybody. We'll see you guys in 7 days in Atlantic City.
Can't wait.
Peace, guys.
Peace.